everyone. How you all doing? Oh my goodness, it's a hot one. It's a hot one in London. It's a hot one all over Europe. It's been several weeks without rain. My goodness, that's why I'm not wearing the classic shirt today. I'm wearing the t-shirt. This is the BENS Camera Show summer uniform. Just chatting with some of you in the chat just before the show. Old Radios says it's down to 20 degrees and starting to rain. Lucky you, Old Radios. See who else is in the house. Some old friends here. The side towards the screen is here. Old Radios. Hi guys. Hi everyone. And welcome to another BENS Camera Show. I know it's been a while since I last rapped at you, and quite frankly, I've stopped apologising for the lengthy gaps in between shows. You know, I got life, I got work to do, I got to earn some money. God knows I'm not doing it here, but this is not the point of the camera show. Is to make a sort of commercial proposition of it. It's to raise awareness of cameras and the fact that I do a Super 8 workshop, which you can go to my website and you can book me for a whole day or even longer than a day, and I'll teach you everything I know. And for the rest of the day, we'll just hang around and play with cameras. Anyway, excuse me. So today we're going to talk about, finally, my straight 8 film this year. Yes, I made a straight 8 again this year. And it was quite a process, quite a long, tortuous process, although the actual shooting was, technically it was quicker than any straight 8 film I've made before, ever. But before that, let's talk about what I've been doing to this last few days and weeks. Let's go into my box first. Boing, here I am. And I went to a thing. Let's get that off. I went to a talk given by this guy, who is Steve Crossman from Mono No Aware, based in New York. He came into London and he did a show. He did a sort of a slideshow and film show of what they've been up to at this place called Not Nowhere, which is this fantastic sort of open access lab, grassroots, artist-led, non-profit lab in London. Basically, it's the London version of what Steve is doing in New York. And these Mono No Aware, funny name, funny guy, they are, well, I'll show you their website. They are up to some stuff. Oh my God, let me tell you. They are, there's their website. They are, I mean, everything we do in London with Super 8 and 16mm and workshops and everything, inject that with a whole bunch of steroids and you've got something close to what they're doing in New York. They really put us to shame, I gotta tell you. So if you're in America, firstly, my commiserations, and but go off to Mono No Aware. They do stuff in all over America, and they're starting to do stuff in London now. So yes, they are they're absolutely on the right track with what they're doing, and I'm very excited to be involved, not even involved, to be sort of in some small way part of the whole thing. So yeah, what else have I been up to? Well, the other thing I was up to was making a straight 8 film. Now, I think I need to just quickly go over what exactly a straight 8 is. They're not paying me for this plug, but it's a film festival where you shoot one roll of Super 8, you send it off to them without developing it, they develop it, you send them a soundtrack, they put the soundtrack on, and if the soundtrack and the film is good, then they will show it at their festival. And the problem with it is that, of course, you can't edit it, you can't see what you've shot, you're doing it all fairly blind. So it's a very challenging way to make a film. And I've made, I think, 4 or so of these films so far. In fact, let's have a, oh God. Okay, you know what? Yeah. It's all happening. Sorry about all that. Yes, I always forget to switch that damn stuff off. I know some of you say, "Oh yeah, plays the intro on by accident." Yeah, on the bingo card. Anyway, where am I? Where have I gone? Here I am. So yes, straight A. Here are some ones I've made in the past. I made this one in Moving Forward in 2020. It did very well. In fact, it got into the top 8, which I was very excited about. And of course, there was no screening and no festival that year because COVID 2020 and all the rest of it. Still, I went and made another one in 2022, I believe, called Days of Wine. In fact, here's a little clip from Days of Wine. So these were all shot in camera, no editing, just one scene after the other. That's the great Sean Reynard there. He was my actor, banging on my sister's car there. So yeah, it was in 22. I did Days of Wine. That got in the top 25. And then in, I believe, 24, I made a film called Slides. That was all shot on one Super 8. I've shown that on my show. That was not shown at the festival for reasons. And then last year, I made a film called There Will Be Another. Again, I've shown that on the show, and you were all very nice about it. And amazingly, it got into the top 8 as well. So I thought, well, I've had 2 in the top 8. I've had 1 in the top 25. I've had 1 did not place. I thought I'm onto a winner here. So let's make another one. Let's make one this year. And that's what I did. And my God, it was a shoot unlike any I've ever done before. Even for straight A, it was a challenge. What am I talking about? Well, let's go back to the film I made last year, which, because it got into the top 8, they were very nice. They were nice enough to get myself out of the screen there. They were nice enough to give me a free entry this year, because entry is not cheap. It costs around £200 to enter the festival, but you do get a full Super 8 processing and scanning of your film, even if they don't select it. So that's like worth about 100 at least. And the so I got a free entry this year. Because I got in the top 8 last year, I got a free entry this year, which is worth 200 quid. So I thought, well, I wasn't going to make one because I thought, well, I've reached the top now. I don't need to carry on anymore. I've proved myself as a straight 8er. So I thought, well, I'll just sit this one out. And then they said, hey, you got a free entry. So I thought, oh, okay. Just when I thought I was out there, you dragged me back in. I thought, at the very least, I'll get a good development and scan out of it. And I had a couple of ideas, to be honest, of straight 8s. I decided to do. So I thought, well, what the hell? I'll do it. Let's put something together. Let's do something which I was planning to do for a long time, but I don't know. I thought, well, I didn't want to waste a whole straight 8 entry on it. But because it was free, I thought, why not? My goodness, old radios. You're on a mad one with the commenting. He's talking about the Camera. He got a Camera. Yes. There'll be some Camera next week. I've got some updates with the Camera. There's a new Camera out. Did you know that? There's a new one. Yes. Anyway. Oh, yes, old radios. We lost Flying O. That's right. Old Flying O, who was a regular on the commenting on the show and watching the show. Unfortunately, he passed away. So, in the style of Fight Club, I only learned his name after he died, unfortunately. So, R.I.P. Flying O. Very sad. What's this? Old radios. What else he say? He's all over the place. I saw some folks made some sort of short film near my house, but on a modern camera. Modern camera? How dare they? Anyway, so Janet Gudo says, I will pop back in after a little while. Well, don't miss the premiere. Here's the thing, right? I'm going to show the film I made tonight. I'm going to show the new Straight 8 film. This is the premiere tonight of the new Straight 8 film. However, before we get to the film, I want to talk about the making of the film. And it's kind of difficult if you're worried about spoilers, because, you know, as I talk about the making of it and as I show you bits of the making of it, you're gonna have a little bit of spoilerage going on. But don't worry, there's no plot to the film. There's no surprises I'm going to ruin. And the bits I've selected to show you don't actually give away the entire film. So so hang tight. Don't worry about spoiling. I'm way ahead of you. I hate spoilers. Aldria says there were actors, directors, a guy with a boom mic. I took a photo of them with my film camera. Good for you. There's at least film touched that production in some way or another. Anyway, so right, let's talk about the Straight 8. So what was I gonna do? What was my plan this year? Because I've got various film projects in the pipeline, but the Straight 8 I wanted to make was something I've had a concept of for quite a while. And let's show you on a piece of paper what I'm talking about. I know it sounds very let's get that. Where's that picture coming from? Second screen. I got to get that off because I've got to switch the live camera on. Where is it? Well, let's just get the HDMI. Oh, it's on top of that. A slideshow. There it is. Okay. So this is the idea of the film. What's this, you may ask? Well, let's put myself up there first. Oops. Right. So here's the idea. What I wanted to do was get a camera and film in a 360-degree circle. Okay, so one long pan all the way around. Nothing too special about that yet. However, I didn't want to shoot at regular speed. I wanted to shoot the entire film in one shot at 80 frames a second. So we are talking super slow motion. In fact, a motion so slow that I'd say 99% of Super 8 cameras can't even run that fast, because of course the faster the camera runs, the slower the eventual film comes out, right? You got me. So one 360-degree turn all around a circle, filming stuff in slow motion as we go around. So I thought, well, so I have the camera in the center. I start at, say, 12 o'clock. Let's do this like the hands of a clock. And as I go around at like 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. What got stuck in there in a tune there. Yeah, so I wanted people surrounding the camera as it went round. And as the camera settled on each person, I wanted them to perform an action or do something interesting that would look good in slow motion. Okay, so firstly, let's do some sums here, shall we? Yes, right. I used this camera to start with. Well, not to start with. All the way through. The old Bolia 4008 ZM4. Truly an icon amongst Super 8 cameras, especially due to the fact that the speed dial, goes all the way. Oh, that's the ASA dial. Sorry about that. Here we go. It's set to 18 frames a second. In fact, we can hear it. If I just play that. Beautiful. That's 18 frames a second. This dial goes all the way up to 80 frames a second. 80 frames a second. Now, there are issues, which I'll go into, many issues shooting at that kind of speed. In fact, you will hear the sound of an 80 frames per second Super 8 camera in a minute, but I can't even turn this up to 80 without it running film, because it's very dangerous for the camera. But here we go. I'll wind it up slowly just to give you a sense. See, this speeds up, and we'll see how fast that was. In fact, a little bit of my last film, the Straight 8 film, There Will Be Another, was in 80 frames a second. In fact, I can show you here some footage of There Will Be Another, the slow motion scene from There Will Be Another, and with the original camera sound. So you get a sense of what that camera sounds like when it's shooting at super, super high speed. Here we go. So yeah, it was at production. You hear that? That's the sound it makes at 80 frames a second. And that's the kind of slow visual you get. And that kind of gave me the idea of like, oh my God, I've got to shoot an entire film on this. This is fantastic. Thank goodness the Bolia can do it. So anyway, here's the plan, right? 80 frames a second. Let's work out how fast the camera had to go around and how many seconds on each person I had, because this is very important for when I do the slow pan, how fast to go around. Old Radio said that. Yes, 80 frames. Mike doesn't care for it, probably because of the trigger. Oh, Mike Long from Filmboy 24. He doesn't like the Bolia. I shall stop watching his show forthwith. Only kidding, Mike. I'll be there. Anyway, let's work this out, okay? So, firstly, we're going to divide the circle into 8 points. I thought it's easiest because you've got 8 compass points. And 8 is an easily divisible number. So, here we go. So we start up here at, let's call it north, and let's call this south. I know I said clock face earlier, but it's actually, it's better to do it as compass directions. What are they called? Cardinal directions. So, 80 frames a second. How fast is that exactly compared to regular 18 frames a second? Let's divide 80 by 18. And we get 4.444444. So it's 4.444444 times slower than regular speed Super 8. Okay, so that's 4.444. That's our coefficient there. Now, a regular roll of Super 8 is 200 seconds. So let's divide 200 by 4.444444, and we get 45. So you know what that means? That means we have 45 seconds of Super 8 at 80 frames a second. Okay, so I've got 45 seconds to play with as I do my full circuit. So now what we've got to do is to divide. Oh dear. Is divide 45 by 8. 5.625. That means between here and here, it's got to be let's say 5.5 seconds. Because the straight 8 does start with a bit of regular motion film showing the title, we're going to bust that 5.625 down to 5.5 seconds per quadrant. So between north and northeast, the camera had to go around 5.5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bit more. And so that's the kind of speed. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as I was rotating the camera round on the tripod in the center, I was basically sort of counting to myself, okay, that's got 5 seconds, 5 seconds, and when I go to southeast, I'm just going to carry. There we go. So in theory, by the time, with 5.5 seconds per quadrant, by the time I get round to the top, that'll have been 45 seconds, and that'll be the end of the cartridge. Okay. So that gave me an idea of the kind of speed I had to go around him. Mike doesn't care for it because of the trigger. What's wrong with the trigger on the Bolia? I don't know. I'll have to talk to Mike about this. We're going to have to hash this out. Ugh. Have to have a summit. So that's yeah. The problem was at 80 frames a second, if you run the camera empty, it's in risk of breaking. So I've actually done that before. I have had a Super 8 a Bolia break on me because during a workshop, I was someone was a bit free and easy with the old 80 frames a second, and they wanked up my camera. So yeah, I was really, really worried about running this on empty, especially because they say you're not actually supposed to run your 80 frames a second at the end or even towards the end of a cartridge. They say you should only do slow-mos like in the center of a cartridge or at the start of a cartridge, and not towards the end, because I think as it goes around, the take-up spool is spinning so fast that it could just pull the film out. It could bend the claw. It could do all sorts of dodgy stuff. So yeah, I approached this with great caution, this film, because, you know, making a straight 8's great. Breaking a Bolia is not great. and I had to think, shit, is it actually worth risking my camera doing this? And I thought, well, let's just stop complaining and do it, you know. So this side towards screen says, I assume you mounted it on a tripod. I did indeed. In fact, there's some making of pictures coming up. All will be revealed. So yes, I shot the opening title on 3 different cartridges. I figured, let's give ourselves 3 takes on this for this thing. Let's go around 3 times. So at least, you know, if something disastrous happens, then I'll be able to, you know, I've got 2 more cartridges than I could do. But every single one of those cartridges had to have the title of the film pre-filmed in the first 5 seconds of the cartridge. Okay. So what did I do for that? What was my title? Let's see. I have my title set up right here, which you'll see in just a moment. There we go. So, oh, that's not it. Oh, it's in the. Oh no! It's in a photo, of course. What am I doing? It's here. Right. Do that. Da, da. Here we go. This is what I did. I filmed the camera itself with some sticky with some tape on it with the title of the film, and I filmed. This is some great camera on camera action. 2 heavyweights fighting it out. A Canon 814 XLS filming a Bolia 4000. I mean, you don't get much more concentrated camera wonderfulness in one place than this. So yeah, so I filmed one camera using another camera and that light panel as well, and that's just the view through the viewfinder. So yeah, I thought, well, that'll be the title. So I did that. Oops. So so I shot the title, and then it was time to go and shoot. Well, it wasn't quite time. I had to work out all sorts of technical stuff first, such as, what do you expose it on? How do you expose for 80 frames a second? Because, you know, we're talking shutter speed here. Regular Super 8 cameras that run at 18 frames a second, they normally go around the sort of 1/40th of a second. Maybe some go 1/35th of a second. Some of them can go 1/50th of a second. Some even might have switches between 1/40th and 1/50th. So it's all around that area. And when you shoot at 2 frames a second on this beauty, it goes all the way down to 2 frames a second. And I believe that gives you 1/7 of a second per frame, which is a long time. Even though it doesn't sound long, it's a decent amount of time. When that's on 2 frames a second at 1/7 of a second, you can expose really, really dark places. It's great. What's the exposure time when it's at 80 frames a second? Should we have a guess? I'm not even going to waste your time guessing. It's 1/300th of a second per frame. So if you're only going to give each frame 1/300th of a second, you would better make damn sure there's enough light coming in during that 1/300th of a second so that you can get an exposure, right? So what we're looking at is the famous exposure triangle. Yes, the exposure triangle. Now, oh dear, I don't have my. I have to put my green screen desk on. Just give me a minute here, so I can put my hand. Oh, it's all going so well. It was all going so well after my drawing thing. So now let's get the HDMI right. Oh yes. Oh, okay. We're getting somewhere now. Slowly. I've only had like about 5 months to prepare for this. Let's just put the chroma key on there. Bear with me. There we go. Ah, lovely, lovely. My hand is now in shot. Great. Right. So exposure triangle. What have we got? So here's the shutter speed down here. I was at 1/300th. It's about here. In fact, let's get another. That's a better one. So about 1/300th. I can't change that. That's at 80 frames a second, 1/300th of a second. That's immutable. I've got a little wiggle room with the ISO. So this is where I'm going to choose which film I'm going to use. Okay. And well, I went with the classic. I went with Kodak 500T. Even though I was going to shoot outdoors with lots of light, I wanted the most sensitive film possible. So I went with 500T through 1/300th of a second and f2.8, which coincidentally now these lines are nothing to do with what I actually shot at, but I decided not to go all the way open to f1.4 because it's just so difficult to nail the focus, and it does tend to look a bit soft. Even the Bolia looks a bit soft at 1.4, so I thought let's give it 2.8. Maybe it's 2.4 I used. Yeah, it was 2.4. Now usually if you shoot at f2.4 on a bright day with 500T film, you're going to way overexpose it. But with the 1/300th of a second, I thought that about balances out. So I had my and I shot that stuff, the woman running for the bus bit. I think that was at f2.4. So I think I had some quite reliable settings to go with, right? Old Red says, "Oh, got to print it out." The exposure triangle, yeah, it's nice. Funnily enough, if we go down a slight rabbit hole, come with me on a slight diversion, talking of the exposure triangle, because I was doing some research on this and I found quite an interesting website, which was just called exposure-triangle.com. Are you ready to finally understand exposure? This guy Wolf Amory, I'm going to give him a plug. He's got some pretty revolutionary ideas. He doesn't actually believe in the exposure triangle. And it's a very interesting website to check this kind of stuff out. Like I said, it's exposure-triangle.com. And he talks about all the the principles behind exposure. Not going to bore you with that. I've already gone on about it. Oh, there he is. But his point, which is quite interesting, I thought, was that he said that ISO is not, or ASA. Now he's talking about digital here, but he says that ISO should not be one of the sides of the exposure triangle. He said that the third side of the exposure triangle is in fact the brightness of the scene itself. And yeah, I kind of understand that if you're talking digital, because the thing you can affect is by putting lights up and putting reflectors up and shooting on a sunny day. So that is something you can have an effect over. And he said that the ISO or ASA is just basically just like hitting gain on whatever exposure you've already made. Now that gave me pause for thought. So he said ISO is like an after effect that you just whack on after you've done the proper, calculations and lighting and exposure and f-stops and everything. The ISO is just something that, oh, well, it was a bit, still a bit dark. Let's bump up the gain. The thing about that is that that's fine for digital because you can see how it looks straight away. With film, you've got to choose that in advance. And I chose 500T. And to be honest, by the end of this, I kind of regretted it. I think I could have gone with 200. I think I could have gone with 200 ASA film, and I think I could have even closed the f-stop a little bit more. It would have made a darker picture, but of course I can always do the gain digitally at the after the fact. So I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see what's next. The problems of shooting high speed, yes, exposure triangle, blah blah blah. There is no triangle. I've covered that. 500T film. I planned for sun, definitely not rain. Now, here's where things started to get complicated, because firstly, I have a cast this time. It wasn't just me and the great Lisa Roberts, who was in my first film, my last film, There Will Be Another. I had 8 people because I wanted one for every compass point. And when you try and schedule 8 people to make a film, it's a little bit more difficult than scheduling just one person. This sounds absolutely bloody obvious, but I had a limited time to make this. My submission date was the 8th of January this year, and I didn't actually get off my arse and do anything about it until like October, November. And the 15th of January is when I had to get the audio done. But the film had to be done by the 8th of January. I knew that a lot of people would be away over Christmas and New Year. So, you know, there was a big gap during which I couldn't really schedule it. Like I couldn't do it all on Christmas Eve, for goodness sake. So, yeah, so I had to get everyone's schedules, and I basically worked out 2 dates, a primary and an alternate. Primary, like the alternate, just in case it pisses down with rain on the primary. At least everyone's still free on the second date. Okay, and I believe the date I used was the date we filmed. I think it was mid-November, or might have been late October. Yeah. And the problem is, as the day grew closer, I got ill. And it wasn't a serious illness. It was like a sort of an annoying, persistent kind of flu-y, coldy kind of thing that was going around. And I just had no energy. Date was getting closer. I was thinking, shall I cancel? Am I going to be well enough? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to spread some germs to everyone in the cast? You know. So the date got closer and closer. And eventually, and also I was looking at the weather. It was going to be like rain, and then it was going to be sunny the morning that we were going to meet. And everyone was only free from noon onwards. So sod's law, it was lovely and sunny in the morning. And as I arrived on the location, the clouds came. But, you know, at least it was noonish, so it was as bright as it was going to get. I thought, okay, with the 500T film, should be all right. So I decided to go for it. We went for it on the day. I had to get an Uber to the shoot location. In fact, where was the shoot location? I'm going to show you where the shoot location was. In fact, here it is, an aerial view of it on my well, your left, my right. In fact, let's get right in front of that. And I have, what have I got here? There we go. Don't know if anyone noticed it. Anyone recognized it? It was in Kensington Gardens. Let's switch that off. There we go. So, yeah. Here is a place in London called Kensington Gardens. It's right next to Hyde Park. A lot of people mistakenly think it's part of Hyde Park because they're next to each other, separated by well, it's not even called the Serpentine. It's called the Long Water till it gets to the bridge, and then the Serpentine after that. So Kensington Gardens is a sort of because it's not officially Hyde Park, the tourists often all go to Hyde Park. And Kensington Gardens is more, I don't know, you get more locals there, you get more people from sort of North Kensington and around that area. And here's the spot right here. I knew this spot very well because, here's on Google Maps, because we've had picnics there before. In fact, most of my cast had been on a picnic with me in the same place. So it's quite useful. I could just say, okay, just everyone meet at the place where we have our picnics. And there's a very nice vista going down here. There's lots of people going up and down these paths and everything. But here in the middle of this kind of triangle, another triangle. This was I guess this is also an exposure triangle, if you like, because I was exposing the film inside this triangle. Just here. So, yeah. It's a nice, like, secluded area. It's a clearing. There's trees around. You can't really see what's going on from these paths here. I had absolutely no permission whatsoever to set up or film in there. I just went for it, guerrilla style. And right here's the spot. So if you're ever in London and you want to go for a nice picnic, I can recommend Kensington Gardens. There's also toilets here, which is very useful. Okay, I'm getting off track again, aren't I? I don't care. It's a great spot. Go there for a picnic. I'll come with you. We'll bring the Super 8 cameras. We'll make a day of it. Anyway, so here's the day I made with it. Oh, God, I am looking a bit crook, aren't I? So, yes, I set up the Beaulieu on a tripod. That's all the kit and everything around here. There we go. That's me having set it up. And so you might wonder what these little blue things are here. And you might also wonder, how did I arrange so that exactly everyone's in a circle? Well, I used these. These are surveyor's flags. And there we go. And they were pretty cheap as well. Like on eBay, you can get about 100 of them for like a tenner or something. And all they are, get one out. All they are is just a little flag on a piece of wire, like a coat hanger wire. And you quite easily can just stick them into the ground. And they are brilliant. They're so useful if you're doing shooting outdoors. If you want people to hit their marks and you want to quickly just make a mark, even somewhere where you can't put gaffer tape down, like grass, get some surveyor's flags. And afterwards you can wave them and cheer for what country has a blue flag. The UN. Anyway, so yeah, so I did that. Let me get my stupid face off the thing. Right. So that's me setting up. Now, what's that there? Can you see? Oops. In fact, you can't really see, but there is a mobile phone. Maybe you'll see it in a minute. There's a mobile phone attached to like a T-bar, a crossbar, which goes on the tripod there. I don't really need to use the mouse and my finger to point, but why not? So there's like a T-bar goes across the top of the tripod. The camera's there and the mobile's next to it. That's very important because you have to keep the mobile running so you got a visual record of everything you shot straight away. That is, again, lovely Lisa Roberts from my film There Will Be Another. She was cast in it. And that's us all. There you can see there's the mobile and the I had to tape it up because I forgot my holder. I was really out of it that day. And there's the Beaulieu there. Oh, some comments, come on. Morganico's in the house. Hello. We'll see a lot of him later. One of my cast has joined us in the chat room, and yes, you'll see him in a minute. You can't miss him. He says, Old Rio says, I end up running those flags over with my lawnmower. Ah! What kind of noise does that make? Shall I try and impersonate a lawnmower running after one of those? It's sort of like kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, he says sometimes the gas company or electric company sticks them. That's true. Yes, they stick them in the found. We call it ground here in the UK. Oh, why can't I switch off WhatsApp? It's just so annoying. Ah, there we go. Mute chat. There we go. And Morganico says, Antarctica and Kazakhstan mostly have blue flags. Well, thank you, Morganico. You're a man of many talents, mostly art, but also didgeridoo, as we'll see. Some more pictures. Ah, there he is. This guy, this freak is in the chat right now. And I hope he's wearing that as well. He's in the Outer Hebrides right now. And I really hope you brought your wizard hat, Morgan. They like that kind of thing. He's up there doing some Wicker Man shit, I bet you. So that's us just watching the film afterwards. Another one. Oh, I've got a smile on my face. I'm just relieved it's all over at that point, I think. Okay. Let's see some video of the setup. We're getting closer to actually watching the film here. In fact, let's go to the screening room and see the setup from there. So you see the flag down there at the bottom. That's everyone standing around waiting. That's what filming is all about, standing around waiting. While one person does one thing. Yeah, see, there's the blue flags. This is from the center, from this field shoot shot from the mobile. In fact, I think there's my mate Adam. He's just gonna walk the perimeter for me. Okay. And actually, as I turn, can you just walk along? Yeah, that way with me. Thanks. God, do I sound like that? In fact, let's do a complete circuit. Just yeah. There's my shadow down. Walking between the flags. Yeah, yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, thank you. Keep going. All right, so it gives you an idea of the setup there. Brilliant. And the good thing about it is... Carry on. Sorry, I see. is that I won't have to worry about changing the focus at all. I won't have to worry about pulling focus whatsoever, because everything that I want to put in the film will be exactly at that point. And how far away were those flags from the tripod? About 3 meters, I'd say. So yeah, so that was the setup. So you got an idea now of the setup. So it got cloudy after 12, but I thought, what the hell? I brought a bag of props and I used whatever was around, like leaves and stuff. And then we did a rehearsal. Let's see the rehearsal, shall we? So here's the run through. I wasn't filming this time. Right. So here's...
Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Adam, jump.
So we started just doing
Adam and Matt.
wacky stuff in a circle.
Okay, and now flowers, very nice. Okay, Lisa, yep, balls all over the place. Yep, Morgan, in shot.
Look, he can juggle as well.
Lisa, remember to bring the balls with you. Oh no, you can't, of course.
Well, I won't go all the way round because again, spoilers. Let's just let the rest of the film play out. As people ran, I didn't have enough people, by the way, to really fill the circle. So as I panned across, in fact, you can see it here. So as I panned across, people would basically run off that side of the frame, and they'd run right behind me, so they could come in at the other side, at the right hand side. You get me? So the camera went past them, and then they had to run behind the camera and get round again, so they could be filmed on the other side again. So yes, we practiced that a few times. 3 takes I did. Each take was 45 seconds, and funnily enough, a cartridge of Super 8 in the UK costs now about £45, maybe 40, but yeah, because so we're looking at it cost a bloody £1 a second to shoot this stuff, and I shot what is it for 200 times 200 seconds. No, this can't be right. It kind of cost me £600. It didn't cost £1 a second. Let's do that. Let's work that out again. It cost £45. Oh yes, of course, £1 a second at 80 frames a second. Okay, so I shot 45 times 3. That's 40, 80, 120, 135 seconds I shot. So 135 quid. That was half my heating budget for that month. Went right into Kodak's pocket. I'm going to try not to get too worked up about the cost of it all. You know, we all know how much you can have to make these hard decisions really when you shoot film. Morganica says, haha, we're wizard hat carving at the moment on a green desert mountain. Yeah, got stranded here since boats to mainland, ferry cancelled tomorrow. Good Lord. He is in the Wicker Man, isn't he? Don't, if the landlord's daughter tries to sleep with you, go for it. That's all I can say. Oh, crack myself up. Anyway, let's have a look at some actual footage, shall we? So yes, with the 3 takes, let's go back to the camera show here. So, oops. Yeah. So I did say 3 cartridges, okay? Now, as per the rules of straight 8, 1 cartridge has to go undeveloped straight to them, okay? So that should be the best take, really. I should choose the best take for sending out to straight 8. Of the other 2 cartridges, I decided one I was going to send to a lab and have them develop it and scan it at 18 frames a second, so I could get an idea of the speed and and how it looked, how it was going to look as a straight 8 film. And the 3rd cartridge I was going to home develop because why not? I've got the facilities, I can do it. So yeah, I developed it at home. So we did it. We shot everything. We shot the first cartridge, and the first big problem came, which is I took the cartridge out of the camera. It wasn't finished. I thought I'd gone round in 45 seconds, but I didn't get that exposed sign on the cartridge, which means that my whole concept of a single shot was now stuffed, because on this cartridge, at least, this film, I'm going to have to put it back in and shoot some more stuff. Like what? I don't know. We've done the performance. We've filmed it. We've gone around. I've still got film left in this cartridge. What am I going to shoot? So I decided to shoot this. Not this.
Right.
No,
Okay.
not that guy. I shot this.
Okay, so this is just the...
I decided to shoot a curtain call. So I got everyone to line up, because I thought, why not have some footage of a curtain call. And here you can hear the camera going at this moment.
Ready, and go. And another bow. Okay, thank you.
So yeah, when I took it out of the cartridge, of the camera, the exposed tab was there. So I finished the cartridge at least. Who knows how? It might have been like 199 seconds of the circuit going around, and then 1 second of curtain call. No way to tell. So anyway, on to cartridge 2. So we went, shot that. It went round, and when I took it out, it was exposed. So I knew the entire film had gone through the camera. So great, we got a finished one take film in the can, in one of the cans. So now we had a third, so I could have some fun. And in the third take, they really went for it. And I think the third take was probably the best one. Although we'll get on to the comparing the takes later. Okay, so the curtain call, the other two. Yeah, well, here's a point. I didn't know when the film ran out on takes 2 and 3, so I knew for at least a few seconds, maybe even up to 10 seconds, I was shooting on a finished cartridge, which is something they tell you never do with a Spolia 4008. Don't shoot when it, don't shoot at the end. Don't shoot it empty. Don't shoot on a nearly finished cartridge at 80 frames a second. I broke every one of those rules, and amazingly, the camera still works. So, spoiler alert. Right then. So yes. So that was a problem, because when I home developed one of the takes, I didn't know how fast or slow, how much to slow it down on the timeline, the editing timeline. So that was a real issue, because I didn't know when it stopped. You see, I had the start and I had the end, and I slowed it down to 4.444, but then it was only like 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and I know that these films are 3 minutes 20 seconds. So do I stretch it out so it's 3 minutes 20? But the film, it could have kept shooting for longer than that, and I couldn't tell by the soundtrack on the mobile, because it turns out at that high speed, that really 80 frames a second speed, you can't tell when it's finished pulling film through. So there was no. I thought I had the start and the end, but I only had the start of the shot to really nail down. So that was going to be a problem with the soundtrack. Anyway, never mind. Moving on. So I sent out the take one. Was it take one? No. I sent take 2 to the lab. Just so the lab, because they were going to develop it and then scan it at 18 frames a second, I would at least know exactly how fast it looked, so I'd be able to match that on the timeline with the mobile phone footage. So I got that back, and let's have a look at what the lab scan looked like. I'm only going to show you a little bit of it, because I had a bloody heart attack when I saw it.
Okay, so this is just...
I'll show you. You'll see in a second why I had a heart attack, because this is what I got back from the lab. Oh, it's soft. It's very soft. This side towards screen. Did you have the soundtrack playing during the time? No. I hadn't even made the soundtrack at that time. So there was nothing to actually synchronize to, except for the fact that the soundtrack was going to change every time a different person was on screen. So I had to know approximately when each person was going to be in shot, because then the part of the soundtrack would be relevant to that. Of course, I had no way of seeing the one that went out to straight 8. So a lot of guesswork was involved. But at least with the lab processed, although it's blurry, it's very soft. I had the speed exact, so I could match the others for speed. This is actually where the Morgan with the balls was quite handy. Old Rears, I like it still. That's very kind of you, mate. Don't worry. This is the take that did not go to straight 8. So what went wrong here? Let's just work out what went wrong here. Firstly, 500T. It is grainy, and grain, large grain, equates to blurriness sometimes when you scan it. And it's not good for it's just harder to keep everything sharp, especially at wide apertures. 500T with wide apertures is notoriously difficult to get a really crisp shot. Whereas if you're shooting at f16 with 50D, it's going to look fantastic, you know. So yeah, it's also, here's the problem. I put down, you can see the just between his legs there, you can see the flag there. I think most of people, I measured out the flags at 3 meters, and I focused the camera at 3 meters as well. But most people stood behind the flag, of course. You know, they don't want to get tripped up by it. And just that extra like 20 centimeters or so, 30 centimeters, I think that brought them into the soft zone. And I'm pretty sure that's true because in some shots, someone's throwing something and it comes closer to the camera, and the really closest to the camera stuff looks nice and sharp. So I went with grainy film. I messed up the focus a bit. And I was going 1/300th of a second. I'm making all the excuses now. But the thing is, Morgan says, I was not provided a stunt double for this appearance in Ben's film. No, well, no one can juggle and play didgeridoo. Look, we're gonna address the blurriness in a minute, and I think the blurriness is partly why. Well, we'll see later. But here's something interesting. Look, Morgan's in the middle there. At the edges of the lens, edges of the screen, over there by the sprocket hole, it's a lot sharper. See that? He's sharper there than he is there. And that's not because he's moved, and it's not because the camera has moved. I think it's the shape of the lens. I think it's the lens I was using. I don't think it was the best lens, to be honest. This lens, I'm going to just bring it up here. This lens I used in the to make the film, on the Bolia, is it's very fancy. It looks nice. It's the Bolia Optivaron 1.4 6-70. What's it say there? Schneider Kreutzach. Now this should be the, dare I say it, the Ne Plus Ultra of Super 8 lenses. It's a powerful lens. It's got a hell of a zoom. It's got macro, very easily switchable here. You can even stop the speed of the film at 40 or the speed 40 or 7. No, that's the zoom, the extent of the zoom. You can cap the extent of the zoom. I don't know why. You can change, bring the daylight filter in and out. It's a lovely lens. It's just not as good as some of the other Bolia lenses. I think the oh god, I'm. It's been a while since I did proper lens talk, but there's without getting it out, I can't think of the name of it. It's a French lens for the Bolia, and it's sharp as hell, and it's better than that one. So I should have done tests, to be honest. I should have done tests at 300, and I should have done tests on different film stocks, and I should have done tests with different lenses, and I should have done tests at different apertures, and also tests at different light conditions as well. Unfortunately, all the time I spent when I would have been doing tests, was spent being ill. So yeah, I mean, I can give you a very nice recipe for chicken and orzo soup, which basically cured me. Thanks, Nigella, for that. But I can't actually show you. You know, I had problems. Basically, this turned out to be the test, to be honest, not the film itself. Anyway, moving on. I know you're all keen to see the film. I've talked about this for an hour now. Don't worry, it's very, very soon we shall be watching the full film. So I decided, when I saw the lab effect there, the lab result, I thought, well, should I reshoot? Should I just wait for a sunny day and reshoot? And this was like getting on mid-December now. And the deadline, I remind you, was the 8th of January. I thought, what are the chances of having a sunny day and everyone's going to be free over Christmas to reshoot it? And if I reshoot it, it might not even look any better. You know, it's a big gamble. So I decided, nope, I'll just go with what we got. And I don't know if everyone remembers London. If anyone was in London at the start of the year, we had like a whole week of brilliantly sunny weather. Like from New Year's to January the 9th was just sunny day after sunny day. Nice, crisp, lovely winter weather. Would have looked so good on Super 8. I'm okay. Enough kicking myself. Let's get on with it. So, what else? So yes, the film was soft. Let me just look at my notes here. If there's anything else I need to tell you before we watch the film. Yes. This is why I decided not to reshoot, everyone. The reason I decided not to reshoot was that I home developed take 2. And that means that I had to send take 3 into straight 8. And it was not easy to choose. In fact, here you can see, here we go. These are notes I made about each performer and how well they performed in each of the takes. So I was trying to work out which take was the best one to send in. Don't worry, Morgan, you got 3 ticks. So yes. So yeah, it was very difficult to choose which one, you know, which take to send in. But once I decided, I thought, well, let's just develop take 2. See if that's as blurry as the rest of them. And to be honest, have a look. It didn't look so bad. This is just as I developed this myself and scanned it on a Wolverine. Now the thing is, a Wolverine has a sharpening effect, which sometimes it applies whether you ask it to or not. But I thought, maybe that was take 2. So maybe I just fluffed the focus the first time round, and take 2 and take 3 look okay. So Old says, pay better for performers. Yeah, I know. Hey, Old Manny. Old Radios. I got your names mixed up. Manny, hello. Thanks for joining us. Film's coming up very soon. So, okay. Take 1 was the shitty, that was the lab scan. That was the one I sent out to the lab. Very soft. Take 2, did it myself. Actually looks sharper. But that may have been because I got the focus better. It may have been for other reasons. Maybe the scan. Maybe it was just the scan that was wrong the first time round. Who knows? So I thought, okay, take 3 is probably okay. Send it into straight 8. I sent it into straight 8. And then I did the whole the music and everything. I'll get onto that. Yeah, so I did. So yes, for the soundtrack, I went around London. I went around where most of the performers live, and recorded their voices. And my notes. And I recorded Morgan playing his didgeridoo in a van in a car park in Peckham. And I recorded my mate Benjamin Rowlandson did some amazing music as well. Morgan says, haha, I did not drop the balls once. Yay. Yeah, you are a robot, got to say. When it comes to juggling, very reliable. And art. So, yes. So my first idea for the soundtrack was for the for 8 different pieces of music, and it changes like a bit like a radio dial. So as each person goes along, then the music changes like a radio dial. And then I thought, well, then I realized after 2 nights staying up till 4 a.m. with Ben Rollinson that composing 8 snippets of music is actually a lot of bloody work. So, but we made it. We did it in time. Sent it into Straight 8. Recorded all the voiceovers all around London. I'll show you the edit timeline of that. It's a real mess. And sent it into Straight 8. And yada, yada, yada. The film was not accepted for that year's festival. So there's the punchline of it all. However, you get your scan back from them. And you'll see it. They did a lovely scanning job. Just one last thing. The film was still soft. When they sent it back, it still looked a bit soft. So what I did a bit of research. So I thought you can't cure blurriness. I thought if something's blurry, that's it. You're stuffed. And then I watched a tutorial where someone used DaVinci Resolve to get to actually make their picture look a lot sharper, even though it was blurry. So I tried that, and here's the result of that. Here's that same shot of Morganico with the juggling the balls, and the left-hand side of the picture is after touching it up with DaVinci, and the right-hand side, this is take 3 as developed and scanned by Straight 8. Look, in the center is the line between them. Boom, definite difference there. It actually it actually helped. I know sometimes when you do sharpen effects on After Effects and stuff like that, it can look a bit ropey, like suddenly everyone looks like The Walking Dead. But here we go. Look, here's right down the middle. Here's the unblur line here. I put it's about, yeah. So his one arm is before and the other arm is after. In fact, yeah, here we go. So the line is about here between before, and the DaVinci worked. It did an actually pretty nice job of cleaning up that soft focus. Unfortunately, Straight 8, they don't do all this stuff on your film. They just put the soundtrack to the image and let the dice fall where they may. And if it comes out well, great. But of course, they had to judge this on their own scan. And I think, to be honest, it was the correct decision to not include it in the festival. Because I went to the opening night. I went to the opening night of the Straight 8 festival, and where's the picture? Here we go. There we go. That was at the IMAX. It's very nice, and that's just part of the screen because, of course, you can't fit the whole screen into one picture. And the films were absolutely excellent. They were, I would say, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, they were all better than the film that I made. But enough doing my film down. Let's watch it. Here we go. It's time, everyone. Drum roll. I now present for the first time ever, and I'm not even gonna put myself on the screen. So we're gonna get a clean copy here. 80. Dreams of a Data Center. That's the name of the film. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and I'll talk a little bit about it afterwards now once we've seen it. So here we go, my Straight 8 2026.
Hey, AI, I want to jump off the plinth and look like a Greek god. Put me in a heroic pose like one of those Olympian discus statues.
Hey, Siri, Grok, Alexa, ChatGPT, I am the Aquarius. I am the water bringer. I serve you water for your sacred needs. I will ensure that water will never cease. Water is life. Glow!
AI, show me dance styles. Generate that ribbon on a stick. Oh, what's it called? rhythmic gymnastics, but make it more Christmassy. We are the dancing fairies, dancing, dancing through the grass, graceful, slow and fast.
Balls! Grok, shower me in balls, all the colours of the rainbow. Make me look really graceful. In a ballet style, like in that music video.
Meta. Google.
KI, keine Feen. Ich will einen Zauberer sehen, der mit 3 Orangen jongliert. Didgeridoo und Jodeln zu Techno-Beats. Auf geht's. Deep L, Cleonis, Aleph, Plexus. Aleph Alpha, Cleonis, Deep L, Inoplexus.
You should have been here yesterday when today was tomorrow.
J'ai descendu dans mon jardin, j'ai descendu dans mon jardin pour y cueillir du romarin. Gentil coquelicot, mesdames, gentil coquelicot nouveau. J'en avais pas cueilli 3 brins, j'en avais pas cueilli 3 brins.
Hey, chat Grok, AI Alexa, give me football skills like the world has never seen. Show me doing 1,000 keepy uppies.
You have a ball. You have a ball. And a ball for you. And a ball for you. Ball.
Go away! Get off!
That ball.
Stop chucking balls at me.
Get that out of my face!
You shall have the water of life.
Get off me, you
Ouch.
bitch. Oh, not my hair.
Here's the Aquarius.
Get off!
I'm bringing the water. Here's the water. You wanted water.
You have a ball. You have a ball.
Here you are then.
Oi.
You wanted water.
Hey, Siri, look at these balls.
Don't listen to her.
Hey, ChatGPT, where's my
Ich
wizard
spiele nur ein
hat?
bisschen mit meiner Girlande.
Take that. No,
Stop
no,
that.
don't take that. It's my
Help
ball.
me. Here's some water.
Get off.
Shower the wall
Go
with
away.
balls.
I am the water bringer. Mille sabords de mille
Google.
sabords.
Look at these balls.
Arrête,
Go
arrête,
on.
arrête.
Give me the hat.
I am the bringer of rain. Arrête, arrête-toi.
Get the
Maintenant.
fuck off
tout de suite.
me!
Hey Alexa, locate hat.
I am the water.
Get that water
On
off
a dit
me.
stop
Take
maintenant.
that, you bastard.
No, no,
De
no.
m'embrouiller la tête.
There is no wizard hat.
You shall have water.
As a matter of fact, they're all hats.
Laisse-moi tranquille, bordel de merde. Oh mon Dieu.
Get that out of my face! Ow!
Here comes the rain.
Okay, stop.
There we go. There we go. Thank you for your nice comments. And yeah, that was that. There we go. That was 80 Dreams of a Data Center. Now, just wanted to share this with you. I tried to link it up from one screen to another. It was a complete nightmare. But this is just the timeline of that last part with with all the voices coming in and going. And it was. Yeah, it was quite a large amount of complex timing with all the voices and everything. But yeah, I mean, Old Ria says reminds you of 90s music videos. I see. That was very important part of my life. 90s music videos back in the day. I worked on 90s music videos. I was on Champagne Supernova with Oasis. I got stories, I tell you. Not for now. So yes, afterthoughts. I just made some notes here about what I think about this film, and it was kind of a quite a different one to what I usually do. It was a truly experimental film, in that it was made without any concept or plot. It was basically just a technique. I just had the idea of what would happen if I did one entire shot in slow motion. Let me get this off. Yeah, it was completely experimental, and because I had this I had this film that I had to then sort of retrofit it with a meaning after the fact, okay? Because I just had this video, and I wondered what kind of soundtrack do you put to that other than just some music? What does it mean? Did it have any meaning? Am I looking for meaning where no meaning was intended at all? It was a camera test basically with friends. If you just look at the visual. So I thought, you know what? It looks kind of dreamy. It looks a bit like those AI slop videos. And I've got one here, which there's a guy called, I'm going to give him a plug, called Mu Tian Ran. And he specialized in making fake AI slop videos. Let me see. Let's find it here. Here we go. Number 11. Let me just get out of the way. Let's switch everything off. It's all. Thank you, Morganico. Excellent. So yeah, this guy made this. You may have seen it went kind of like viral, I think. And it was it's filmed live. It's not AI slop, but he's done a really nice job of parodying that kind of weird, slow, nothing makes sense, dreamy kind of AI video. You know, it's hilarious, brilliant idea. Anyway, that was Mu Tian Ran who did that, and you know, I thought, well, that's this kind of feels like that. You know, people. I thought, what if all the activities that people are doing are an AI trying to fulfill some sort of ridiculous request of it, you know, like not quite getting it right, you know. So Adam there wants to be a Olympian, and it just looks dorky. Sorry, Adam, but that was the idea, you know. So yeah, Old Ray says, yeah, I see real AI slop videos in commercial, and it irritates me. It irritates the hell out of me too, in movies as well. It's infecting everything. So yeah, I thought, well, let's make it like, I was just going to be called 80, as in 80 frames a second. And I expanded that title to Dreams of a Data Center, because I thought with that much processing power, it's not inconceivable that a data center may one day achieve some sort of sentience. And if so, what would it dream of? You know, and would it dream of all the wacky shit that people asked it to do all day? You know, or so I guess the moral in this film, because it was a troubled production and a troubled post-production, and it is what it is. It's like kind of, I wouldn't say it's an unsuccessful film. I've just worked so close to it for so long that I don't even know what I've got here. I don't know what it is. It's the moral is, watch out for retro-conning meaning and intention to a project that was intended to be a blind flight into the unknown, you know. So anyway, that's that. Got 2 more films in the pipeline, one involving Mr. Morganico, so I hope you're free sometime soon. Maybe I'll do them straight away. Maybe I'll just do them on video, just, you know, because it's just, you know, there's so much less sort of trouble that would have been avoided if I just shot this whole thing on a video, but that's not the point at all. But the point is that this magnificent beast with a flawed lens, in my opinion, was able to shoot all of that, whipping Super 8. 80 frames of Super 8 is more than I can get into this shot here, and it whipped it through the gate, and it exposed every frame of it. So I think the real winner here is these guys, Bolio. Questions, great. Yes, Q&A for the filmmaker. Was it scripted, or was it all made up on the spot when recording the vocals? The script was kind of written while rummaging around in my attic, because I just grabbed everything I could find that might look good as slow-mo. So I had this bag of balls, which I did a motion capture project with about 7 years ago, and I still have these coloured balls. And so I brought those. I thought, oh, they're going to look great. Throw those in the air, and then an empty bottle, fill that with water. Have the guy spraying it. I thought, another guy throw leaves. There'll be leaves in the park. It's autumn. We can throw those. So that was pretty much the script being written right there and then, based on what I could find. To the tinsel as well. I think, you know, maybe I might have gone to a pound shop and bought that actually. So yeah, the script was written in my attic and in the pound shop. Super Cine 100. Hey, how you doing? I'll catch you on replay. No worries. Yes, it's all being recorded. It's all out there. Yeah. Oh, the vocals. Yeah, and the vocals, I was just basically just trying to inject meaning into it after the fact, which was very difficult to do, because you got to interpret your own work. And at that point, I hadn't fixed the blurriness, so I'd only just got well again, and I was thinking, oh, what's the effing point? But anyway, okay, 3 things finally. Firstly, I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to a filmmaker called Lola Blanc, or it might be Blanc, if it's the French pronunciation. She made a film, here we go, called Overlooked. And I've put the link to it. It's on Vimeo. It's on the Straight 8 Vimeo. I put the link to it in the description already. She did the same thing, except not at 80 frames a second. She did a normal speed, but did the 360 about 4 or 5 times. And every time it went round, things were different. I'm not going to spoil or anything, but I will say this was, for me, the standout film of the festival. Especially for me, it felt kind of like I walked, but she ran, with the 360 thing. Maybe it's not the similar to mine. I mean, it's only that thing, but she actually had meaning and a script and a concept and an idea beforehand, I think, and then filmed it in this way, knowing what the script was and knowing what the soundtrack was going to be and all the rest of it. Whereas I just did a purely experimental, 360 in slow-mo and had wacky shit. But I urge you to watch Overlooked, because it's really good. The interesting thing is that I see she had the same focus problems that I did, but that's probably because she used in 500T as well. It's not coming out that well in the scan sometimes, that 500T. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was a different focus problem. Anyway, never mind the focusing. It's a great film. Okay, next thing is, I thought, what else can I salvage from this debacle? No, it's not a debacle. It was, I'm happy I made it. And I'm happy I went to the show, and it was part of the, the Straight 8 thing, and I hung out with all those people at the IMAX, and it was great. Okay, secondly, if you've gone down to the description already, and just bookmark that link to Lola's film. Also in the description is a link to a small zip file, like about 5 megabytes, where what I've done is, because Ben Rawlinson did such a great job on the music, and he made a lot more than what you hear there. There's we worked for hours with his synths and everything to get, and we generated a whole load of sound, of music and stuff. And I thought, after that, you know what? Some of these tunes, because they're quite short, and some of them they're kind of like, they loop quite well as well. And the kulning, which is that it's that Scandinavian singing that the women do to their cows to bring them in from the fjords or something, from the pastures. She did that, and all together, it all sounded like really. It sounded something like would be like a really good ringtone. So what I did is I made 8 short loopable pieces of music from that film. Actually, I think there's about 12 of them. And I'm looking down here because I'm trying to find them on my phone to play. But maybe, you know what? I can play them. No, I can't. Did I? Yes, I did. I did bring them with me when I put everything on this computer. So, ringtones. We've basically discovered the ringtone. Does this one work if I play that? So that's one. That's a nice one. Second one. That's a good one. Imagine your phone going off to this. But this is like, everyone's going to look around. The hell? I think that's crazy. Ringtone number 3 is a nice one. That could be your alarm. Download that, put it on your phone, Set that as your alarm. That's lovely. Let's have another one. That's a good one. No, that's Morganico on the didgeridoo. Morgan, you're going to have to make this your ringtone. These are all free, by the way. I decided to just give them away free. I know I could make millions by selling them. Oh, that's good. That if the didgeridoo doesn't catch your ear, that will. This is a good one. This loops perfectly. I'm going to loop it. Looped already. Old Ria says, I like the old car horn ringtone, or that boing ringtone. That's a good one. How about this one? This is mine. This is the one I use. This is the one I chose. Because firstly, it starts like that. Maybe you don't hear it. When the vocal comes in, you can hear that from the other room. It's a lovely ringtone. I recommend that. That's number 6, I think. This is a good one. If you just want some crazy. Nice. And finally, oh, here's another a remix of that other one. I think it's louder. That's a nice. They're all bloody brilliant ringtones, and we credit Ben Rollinson. He did all of this on one. That's without the vocals. That one. So anyway, links in the description. Download them. They're all safe. They're not viruses or anything. And if you know how to download an MP3 and then go to your phone settings and set the ringtone to be that MP3, then go for it. That's all for you, people. Right, finally, shall we watch some film? Yes, it's time for some actual film show. I couldn't be bothered the last few shows, and I thought, no, we've got to go back to the Super 8. So, without further ado, behind the curtain, hey, is the projector, and it's the good one. It's the Elmo. So we're going to be watching something very weird. I think it was it's a French version, although the soundtrack it's optical and I haven't hooked it up, but it's just some guy talking French. I think it's for in-flight like entertainment. I think it's a Super 8 made to be shown on an airplane like in the 1970s or something like that. It's very weird. I've shown little bits of it before. Super Sydney 100 says love and Elmo. Oh, Adam was in the room. Film was really funny, Ben. Almost as fun as making it. Great job with the sound edit. Thank you, Adam. Thanks for tuning in as well. Yes, so give me a minute here. I'm going to keep talking while I hook up the DSLR to the Elmo GS 1200. In fact, why don't I play some music while some music while that's going on. Okay, believe it or not, I am still here. Blimey, it's gone very dark now. Here I am. Right, so we are going to watch the. It's some in-flight French thing, well, dubbed into French, made in America, dubbed into French, about someone sponsored by Marlboro and about someone who paints and sculpts Native American and Western scenes, probably in the pay of Marlboro doing it. So anyway, it's on Super 8. It's very bizarre. I mean, it's kind of bizarre, but also boring. I'm going to stop talking and just play it. I hope the DSLR is working. Jesus. Let's just see if here's the proof that, Ah, of course I have to activate it, don't I? HDMI. There we go. Hey, okay. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. I reckon that's that ought to do it. Okay, let's play it. Oh, I better start some music. The picture's all skewed, but it doesn't matter. There we go. So yeah, it's oh, it's not playing. So it is actually working with the sound, the optical sound, but it's coming out from across the room. So I don't know if we can hear it. It's just some guy yapping along in French. I don't know. Very odd. Oh my God! It's almost 8:30. Oh, look at all those nice comments. Tio Manny says, "Really fun, Ben. Dig the slow mo. Dem graphics." I know. Great. What is it? Oh, have I still got a? Is there a chroma key on this? There is. Shit. I put chroma key on it. A color key. Look at this. Look, I can mess around with it now. Look. Wow. Should I go Exploding Cinema? Hey, come to Exploding Cinema on the 5th of September in London if you're around. It's let's go on. Let's have some fun here, okay? Should we key some of this out and then we'll layer some other layers on there.
Right. Okay. And 3, 2, 1. Adam, jump.
Let's see. Oops. Oh no! It's the wrong one.
Yes, Adam and Matt. That's good.
There we go. Hey, we're going psychedelic.
That was very nice. Okay, Lisa.
It's gone. It's a car.
Balls all over the place. Oh, yeah, Morgan. In shot.
Oh, it's all gone nuts.
Lisa, remember to bring the balls with you.
My bridge.
Oh no, you can't.
Oh, old radios. Tune in next week. In fact, what
Adam.
am I doing? We got to finish the show here.
Yeah,
I'm just
David.
having fun here.
You ready?
Too much
okay,
fun.
Yeah.
That's the end, everyone. That's it. That's my straight
Yeah,
8. That's everything else.
who was-
I don't know. I've been on about it for an hour and a half now.
Good.
And it's a whole big old mess right now. I'm hoping you can even hear me. Is that jazz too loud? There we go. Let's turn it down a bit. So anyway, that was Ben's Camera Show number 63. This side towards me. This is art! Damn right. Oh, it's stopped. Let's do that again then. Let's put something else on.
Okay, and...
Let's put the juggler.
3.
Bring on the juggler. Yes, brilliant show, Ben, said this side. So thanks, everyone. Yeah, no, it's good to be back. I'm going to be doing a few regular ones. I got 4 coming up. Well, no, 3 more. I just done one. I got 3 more coming up. I'm not going to commit myself any further than that. But because I'm in town for the whole of August working, I might as well spend a bit of time doing a bit of, camera show stuff. I've got a bit of a backlog of stuff to show you. And thanks all for joining me. And our next one is on Wednesday the 6th. No, it's not Wednesday the 6th of... Oh, Jesus. I was in a hurry when I did this. There is no Wednesday the 6th of August. It's going to be Thursday the 6th of August. Let me... I'm gonna change that right now. There we go. It's Thursday the 6th of August. And we're talking about 16 mil. Oh my God, I gotta show you. This is a sneak peek. A sneak peek of something I'm going to be featuring on the next show. Look at this. Oops. Oh, I have to hang on a minute. I have to hold it up. All the lights are off. Here we go. Let's shut up, you French idiot. 60mm cine film length. This is produced. Look when this was made. There it is. Look. Oh, that bloody chroma key! Get away! Hang on a minute. This. Off. That's better. That's got it. All right. Sneak peek for next time. Look at that date on there. Oh God, I can't even see it. I'll read it to you. December 1941 is the date on this. This is film made by the RAF, and what it is oh my God, it's got mold in it. It's a 16mm cartridge. I don't know if it's been shot. Who knows? There may be like Spitfire footage on there. We don't know. But that's what's coming next week. I'm going to try and develop that. And I'm going to try and shoot a bit more of that 60mm cartridge stuff. It's no picnic, let me tell you. Those cartridges. All right. And that's it. Good night. Thanks for joining us. Oh, that works really well. We've got Morgan juggling and the... it's still going. Great. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I need a drink now. Jesus. And I'll catch you all on the other side. Where's the off switch on this thing? God, I'm rusty. It's been a while. It's good to be back. Whoa, 142 views already. Thanks everyone. See ya.